Never seen a lame man walk. Never heard a dumb man talk. Never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a canceled debt. Never seen all the poor get fed. Never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name. Broken heart made whole. Never seen an orphan find a home. Never seen the weak find the strength. I promise you will change his name.
Hello, internet world. Hello, out there, YouTubers and podcast listeners and just people that listen to us. How you doing today? I'm Big T, Bigger T, here with my man, as always, Big C.
What's up, baby? From a remote location.
If you've noticed that Clint is rocking a new mustache. What's that called? It's
either a Fu Manchu or a handlebar. It's
handlebar. Yeah, it's Orange County chopperish.
It was designed to embarrass my kids, and I think it's done its job.
Good.
So I'm always as long as it's embarrassing them, that's really, at the end of the day, that's all we care about.
That is. So you're down with the family at the beach?
At the beach, we're in beautiful Jamaica Beach right outside Galveston. So
Galveston.
It's,
you went fishing today.
I did go fishing.
I haven't heard about how that went, man.
We caught a good bit of catfish, a lot of trout.
Wait. You went to Galveston and you caught catfish?
I did. It's a different kind of catfish. And
we have catfish in Arkansas, Clint.
I know
It'd save you a lot of money just to head down to the
It would have saved me a lot of money.
And there's a couple ponds out there in Worcester. We could have hooked you up.
The kids, though, they had the time of their lives out there just fishing, riding the boat. They took us out to a shipwreck. It was a good time. Caught a lot of trout. I caught the biggest catfish of my life, though. It was a lot of fun. The father-in-law caught a stingray. Yeah.
Wow.
A stingray.
Did y'all eat that?
We did not. The boys, the captain let the boys pet it.
Nice.
But it was still pretty gnarly when he pulled that thing out of the water. So
nice.
it was a good time. So
I don't know if you can eat those. I know they eat them on those like Survivor and all that stuff. But
he said there wasn't a lot of meat on those. A lot of meat. Now, when we left, there was some guys cleaning a shark, and they had some other big type of fish. I wasn't sure what it was, but but we mostly caught the trout and the catfish. I'm brain farting on the name, like gaffle top catfish, something like that. And there's another type of catfish that comes out that's not near as good. We caught one and we threw it back.
Yeah.
So it was.
I got to go fishing in the Gulf one time, and me and my buddy Matt Sandifer, and Matt called this guy. It's like, hey, Matt had went in Galveston before, and he had went out real deep and caught like some big, nice sharks, stuff like that. And so I was like, man, that's what I want to do. I want to catch some sharks. I mean, I've been fishing my whole life. I want to catch something something different,
Right.
And we go out there, and man, we catch few mackerel, few grouper, nothing impressive. Those were neat. Those were different, and they were good. That we ate them later that day. And this guy had told us he'd get us in some sharks, but we're fishing in like 7 feet deep water all day. Like we're not even out in the deep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally Matt asked the guy, said, how about getting some sharks? And the guy like had one shark pole, and he gets it out. We fish for shark, nothing. So I said, look, at least back in the shallower water, we were catching something. Let's just go back there. I want to just catch something. So we go back to fishing there, and I was having to, we were using live bait. So I was having to check my bait one time and I reeled it in and there was a shark on my hook.
Oh, wow.
And it was literally about this long, man. It was like tiny. And so I took a picture of, like I'm holding it up. Like I'm holding, like, look, it's just tiny next to my fat head. And, but it was I was using like sharks as an illustration during youth, like during Shark Week one time for my youth group. And I said, and here's the massive shark I caught. But I had zoomed in on it to where you couldn't, like the shark just covered the whole screen of the picture. And then I zoomed out and it was like me holding it anyway. Right. But that's my only shark I ever caught. It couldn't have taken my pinky off, but
But you know what? We do have some big news. Is, people like listening to your voice, but don't like looking at mine or your fat head.
Well, that's true. We do have some big news. We are now, you can now listen to us. Where can they listen to us, Clint?
Spotify or on iTunes.
That's right.
Apple Podcast. Yeah, we've hit the big time. Yeah,
that's right. So you can, YouTube's not the best way for you to listen to us or watch us. Then you can head over to Apple Podcasts, download it, listen to it on your way to work, or Spotify, listen to it while you're at work, whatever you want to do. Just go search for Big C, Bigger T. If you're not finding it there, let us know, or just check out our Twitter account. I tweeted out a link to the Spotify there, and I will send a link to our Apple Podcast page on there on the Twitter account. And by the way, if you're not following us on Twitter, we have a Twitter account, we have an Instagram account. I'll probably start doing some more stuff on there here pretty soon. Clint does some little short clips a lot of times that are just funny and stuff like that. So
man, that one that I got of you last week,
yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good, but I had that was good.
Well, Clint, the regional is over, man, and what a good weekend it was for the Hogs. And look, and last week I warned our fans. I said, "Hey, act right." And you know what? Our fans are the best in the world, as I said, because they went above and beyond that. Not only did they act right, they adopted a whole nother freaking team, man.
From across the country, from the beautiful Garden State of New Jersey.
That was so impressive, man. And then like those New Jersey kids like made a thank you video before they got on the plane. And then there's been a GoFundMe account started for Arkansas people to help fund a on-campus baseball where they're able to, they have to play at a D3 school that's like 30 minutes down the road. So they're trying to get an on-campus facility for them to play their games. Like Arkansas fans feel bad for them. And like all that happened while Arkansas was in some tough games.
They were. I mean, we had one, I guess the second one versus Nebraska, we won 5-1. That was probably our easiest game of the tournament. We got comfortable versus the New Jersey Institute of Technology, but it was touch and go there for a while. And Dave Van Horn proves why he's the best coach in college baseball. Calling the cops early. I mean, he called him the fourth inning, but that was just kind of his way of saying, guys, settle down.
Yeah,
we got this. And so he called Kevin Kopps, and Kevin Kopps shut him down. And then we built a big lead. Caden Wallace hit a big dinger. Then Cullen Smith right behind him. He just continues pushing the right buttons. And I think me and you, but a lot of it because of this podcast, a lot of it because Arkansas is good, probably watch more baseball than we have in a long time, especially college baseball. And Nebraska is one of the best teams I've seen all year. They were not a 2 seed in the tournament. No. Nebraska was one of the tops. You can't convince me Nebraska wasn't one of the top 16 teams in the country. I would say they're the fourth best team I've seen this year, behind Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and then them.
There was a video going around of them getting their, watching. They're getting the seed for, that they let them know that they were going to Arkansas for the regional, and they were just kind of golf clapping. They wasn't really excited, and a lot of Arkansas fans took that as they were scared of Arkansas. No, they proved they wasn't scared of Arkansas.
No, they weren't.
They were golf clapping because they thought they should have hosted a regional.
Yeah.
They thought they should have been hosting a regional, and let alone not only hosting a regional, but they should have. They felt like they should have. Definitely shouldn't have been against the number one seed.
No, because basically what they said was, like, hey, you're number 32.
Yeah,
You're the 32nd best team in the country.
yeah,
Like, you're the lowest 2 seed, is what
Exactly.
they basically said. And they took that personally. And one thing's, as we get older, we've had a few birthdays that I enjoy, is like seeing guys that we watch play become head coaches, guys that we watch do this and that. And how cool is it that the starting shortstop for Nebraska is the John Olerud Award winner?
yeah,
That John Olerud was such a good college baseball player at the University of Washington, I do believe, that they named an award after him. I mean, I think that was neat for me. And that Schwalbach, the shortstop pitcher for that. Now, Nebraska's head coach made a good move when he went to pulled him in the 5th inning in the first elimination game for them against Arkansas, when Arkansas could afford to lose. He's saying, look, we got to worry about tomorrow, but we got to have this guy now.
yeah.
And, he'd even put in his setup guy last night. And then, of course.
Well, and Van Horn, for him to stay away from cops on that game Sunday, because I'm sure he was tempted to go ahead and throw cops then.
Yeah.
And so for him to hold him back was a big thing there. But we're moving on and playing. Of course, the final game we got to talk about Welch's big shot there. Of course, the play of the game was probably the bat before that. It was Chris Franklin. That at bat he had before that, where he fought off all those balls, to foul them off and to stay in it. He even took fouled one off his own foot. That was pretty impressive. And but anyway, that was huge. And then of course the home run by Welch, and then Cops finished it out, man.
That was a huge shot by, like, as soon as you heard it, like, you didn't see the ball, you heard it, like, oh, that's crushed.
There's a great video of the someone put the Titanic music.
Yeah. You shared it, and then I shared it from your post.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And I think Cops could run for dictator of Arkansas right now, and people would still vote him in.
He
even
man,
if he wanted to be dictator.
no, and I think he would get my vote.
That's right.
But man, this team really, it's something special. I mean, even if it ended this weekend, hey, y'all done some, boys, you've done something special.
Yeah.
But I really feel like this team deserves to win the national title.
I do too.
And they've done the right things. So will that happen? Who knows? They've got work to do. But man, you're in a good situation. You got North Carolina State coming in Friday.
Yeah.
They play at 5 p.m. on ESPNU, which I will still be on vacation, so I'll be able to watch all that Super Regional uninterrupted.
Nice.
I was like, man, maybe I can get tickets to the game. Tickets are outrageous. I can tell you I will not be at the game.
Yeah.
I'll be in my recliner watching it via ESPNU. But
That's right.
man, but I haven't done it. I lived out that way for a while, but I'm not really familiar with North Carolina State basketball. So, I mean, football. So,
Yeah, North Carolina State. I mean, I don't know much about them either, but we know a little bit about Louisiana Tech and the fact that they beat Louisiana Tech.
yeah.
Louisiana Tech was a good team, and a lot of people thought that's who we would be playing next. And so for them to take them out says that they're pretty good. And I did hear a little bit about that they've been on a hot streak, like the second half of the season. They didn't start out the season so good, which is why they were a 2 seed. But that they've been kind of on fire. They've been one of the best teams in the nation in the last few months or last couple months. So, well, Clint,
definitely,
all right.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens for sure.
All right, it's time for our weekly Holy Shnikes moments.
Yeah,
Chris Farley, what's your Holy Shnikes moment for the week?
Well, this one's embarrassing, but it happened, and I told Anna I was going to tell you about this.
I can't wait.
So, as you know, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Friday, and every now and then when you're rolling, a fart slips out. It happens. You get pressure on you. It happens. So I'm literally over there. I come to open mat. I'm just sitting over there stretching, and I'm like stretched out. I'm laying on my back, and I throw my legs this way, and one just creeps out, and it was not quiet. It was not. It was like, and I'm like, I mean, it was one of them. I thought it was quiet enough. Maybe nobody heard it.
Yeah.
And I hear somebody going over, goes, "Who farted?" And somebody's like, "It was Clint. He ain't even rolling yet." And I'm just like, "Oh, no." About like,
oh no.
I was like,
got called out.
I got called out, like, yeah, it was me. I had to, pretend like, oh yeah, it's really, I'm a sad little girl inside. Like, oh, don't make fun of me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
I'm that guy. It's a pretty good one.
Good, man. Well, I'm glad that you experienced that.
I'm not, but it's a funny story that's, a little self-deprecating, but it happened. So.
That's right. It happens. It's real life. Well, I'm going to also talk about something that really happened, not to me yet, but it made me think of what we should talk about on this show.
Okay.
I was noticing, I've been hearing some news, reports and things about there's been some classified video leaked from our military. Okay, this isn't coming from Sammy Joe living in the mountains in Washington State. Okay, the Sammy Joe, the Sasquatch hunter that happened to see a UFO. This is military, U.S. Navy and Air Force video that has been classified. Okay, that has now been declassified, of UFOs flying in the sky that were caught by either military planes or different things. There's one video of a UFO going into the water. They lose it. It goes into the water and just disappears. Okay. Now, once again, if this was coming from some hayseed and, northern Arkansas, then yeah, whatever. Okay. He's drinking his own moonshine and, found him video camera. This is just, whatever. This is coming from people that know about the secret things that are happening. Okay. And they're making these things secret. And now these aren't the videos they're given are the videos taken from, they're not the high def videos, of course, but so we're not seeing a lot of the detail. They didn't declassify the high def video. Clint, I'm freaking out, dude.
You should be.
UFO, like the government okay, it's one thing, yeah. That old guy probably smoking, drinking some peyote, seeing UFOs in the desert.
Right, yeah.
Okay, whatever. This is the military. This is real life, folks. There's Clint. Are there aliens? Tell me, like, give me some help here. Are
Okay.
there aliens out there?
I didn't see this, but I heard at some press conference, Donald Trump let it slip out that there were aliens. Now,
That's it. There are.
I just heard that, and so yeah, I think it's a distinct possibility there could be aliens, but you know, that begs the question to me, like, hey, you're sitting anywhere USA, like you're sitting in Chicago, Illinois. You know, you see they're tracking it, like you've got Alien Tracker 8,000 coming
That's right,
down
yeah.
from the sky. And,
Yeah.
and it's, you got the slow beam descending, and you see an alien just like, oh, coming on down. And you got to pick someone to greet the alien. And this guy's got to make a good first impression. This guy's got to make a good first impression and say, hey, welcome to the United States of America. Here's what it's all about. This area is okay. You may want to stay away from where the meth comes from. Go here. Let me tell you what's great about this place. Big water parks. You know, whatever. Costco, Sam's Club. You want some mayonnaise in bulk? Go to Sam's Club.
That's right.
Need a roof? See your boy Robert Branscombe at Hometown Roofing.
That's right.
So
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We did talk about this a little bit. Let's pretend like Clint said, an alien ship settles down over, let's say, like you said, Chicago. It's the central part of the United States, and they send out, you know, one of those all points bulletins like in the movies, where they take over like the TVs and radios and computers and stuff, and they say, send us 2 representatives to represent the human race, and we'll decide what we're gonna do with this planet according to how these people do. Okay, so we were talking about it, and we're like, okay, let's talk about like serious people. So like people that we seriously would be like, okay, I would want them to represent us.
Right.
Then let's talk about comedy versions, you know, people that would be kind of just funny to pick. And then we'll do in Arkansas, like if they said we want someone from each state, you know, who would we want? Okay. And to be equal, we're going to do male and female, correct?
Right,
So I'll go with my 2 serious.
Oh, go ahead.
Is that what you want to do? You want to do the serious?
No, let's do serious first.
Okay. And one of my serious guy is going to sound like it's a joke, but he's not. My serious, and mainly because my serious female is such a strong female that she'll be able to keep everything good. And I think you mentioned this person when we were talking about this, so you may have her also. But my female, I can't think of anybody better than Oprah.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's exactly what I had.
I
mean, she got the royal interview, for Pete's sake. I mean,
yeah.
And I sit there and I give 2 craps about the royal family.
Exactly.
I watched that entire stinking thing.
Yeah.
Of course, I did get COVID back in March, so I had some spare time.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So I was like,
yeah.
Ooh, I was on pins and needles. I was
Yeah.
checking the CNN app for updates on it. Like, ooh, Piers Morgan has snapped.
That's right.
But
so we got. I say Oprah because for one thing, she does a good job of making people feel important.
Yeah.
When she talks to them, and so she's going to keep the calm. You know, because we don't know what these aliens are like, but if
right,
you know, she's interviewed some weird people, and so you know, people that do interviews are really good are just good at talking to people, and they're good at working through, you know, people that have weird, sort of, personalities and things like that. So Oprah, I think, is an obvious.
Yeah, no, and we both had her. So
Okay. Now here's my second one that may not be quite as obvious,
okay,
but I have a strategic plan.
right.
And well, one of the reasons is kind of funny. Okay. And it is Elon Musk.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because first of all, okay, Elon Musk is a strange cat. And there's a good chance Elon Musk is an alien anyway. So this could be his people coming to see us.
Yeah.
So, like we might be just saying, look, we trust one of your own, so we're, because, he gets up there and all of a sudden he zips off his skin and he's a green man, But the other thing is he's so smart that he's going to be looking around and he's going to see some of their stuff in their ship and some of their technology. And even if the meeting goes no further than that, think about the things that he's going to do with that technology.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what he's done with the electric cars and the things that he's got working with artificial intelligence. People, if you've never, go and watch Joe Rogan interviewing Elon Musk and about some of the things that he's got going. Okay. That guy has some things going that is going to happen. Like, he's got an implant that he's going to be able to put in people's brains that's going to stop things like epilepsy and Parkinson's disease. And it works just like a pacemaker for a heart works. Okay. Where it just sends a little bolt of electricity to the right place. I mean, and it's just going to be a real simple implant that's going to be something. Anyway, the guy is so stinking smart that he's going to be able to he's probably going to be able to understand them better because if they're getting here through a spaceship, he's going to be able to understand them better. So that's my two. And once again, serious ones.
Yeah.
Elon Musk and Oprah.
I agree with you because with Oprah for sure. And also I can see your point on Elon Musk. I'm not going to no, I know I told you mine. I'm going Joe Rogan. And number one, if Joe Rogan's a legit bad dude. So if they try anything funny with Joe Rogan, he can defend himself. But and part of the reason me and you started this podcast is we're talking about that Comedy Store special on Showtime and the Joe Rogan episode. And they said not since Johnny Carson has there been a better avenue for comics to get their stuff out there than Joe Rogan. Have you ever heard Joe Rogan do an interview that wasn't good? And he can interview all genres. I mean, he's interviewed The Undertaker, Elon Musk, your regular comedians, female comedians.
Oh, yeah. Well, and full disclosure, okay, like politically, I'm not a Bernie Sanders fan. But his interview with Bernie Sanders was wonderful to me. And I thought it was, normally I could care less about what Bernie says.
Yeah.
But I watched every minute of that one because he did such a good job. So, yeah, you're right.
He relates to people so well and he can talk to people. There was a meme that came out, and of course, no matter your political affiliations, you can agree that if the aliens came here and the first thing they saw was that first debate between Trump and Biden, they would have blown up the world.
Yeah,
I would have been like, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, we deserve it.
That's about as political as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
But the meme was the debate we all wanted. It was Joe Rogan with both of them on the table, with Joe Rogan moderating the debate.
Yeah.
That would have been. I think it would have been entertaining, and it would be definitely been better than what we had.
Yeah.
Now that being said, like I said, okay, the aliens come down. You want to be sure they're entertained, or they could blow us up.
Yeah.
We get two shots at this because we're going to do a male and a female. But who you got, man? Who you got? Who you going to get to entertain them to make sure they do not blow us up?
Okay, who's going to be funny?
Yeah, who's going to be funny?
You want my funny ones?
Yeah.
Female. Oh, you're gonna get me on this one. I think
Oh, I don't know.
you're gonna get me on this one. Mine is mine's Fat Amy from Pitch Perfect.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That is good. That is good.
If you watch, okay,
So much better. I'm almost embarrassed to say mine now.
she's so funny, man. And then if you watch 3, she's got some special skills. She can fight, and she's just so funny, man.
Yeah.
And I think I think that would be funny to watch. And my other one, you could I hate to make a joke out of him, but I'm gonna make a joke out of him. Mainly because I think he would get going and the aliens would have no idea what he was talking about. And my other one is Kanye. Because look, I love Kanye.
He's a genius.
Listen, a lot of people didn't like it or whatever. His Christian album he put out is one of my favorite albums in the last couple of years. Yeah. Okay, I enjoyed it. I followed his transformation. I believe he's legit in his transformation. Time will tell, but we'll see. And so I'm not trying to badmouth the guy, but the guy is bipolar.
Oh, for sure.
Like he admits that he's on medication for it, all that kind of stuff. And so he is very random in what he'll talk about. Yeah. So he can be in the middle of it. And I just think that would be a funny duo, because I could see Fat Amy like, what my comrade is trying to say here is, because Kanye says something.
Oh, Rebel Wilson's so good. You know what I think I might do, and I can't do it because it probably breaks the rule. But I send them the 3-headed monster of Timberlake, Efron, and Jonas. Just here's a bunch of adorable coming at you, aliens. They can sing, they can dance, they can be funny.
That's right.
Everything the 3 do is wonderful. I stand by that.
Yeah, you're a little too much on that.
See, because I thought Bobby Lee. I'm like, and you had brought up Pauly Shore, which I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore's pretty good.
Weasel.
The Weasel. Wheezing on my gag. I mean, he was so like in the late 80s, early 90s. He could he could do no wrong. And he's an hilarious stand-up too. He actually, I watched that entire Comedy Store special, and the thing that made me spit out my water, it was one of his older bits. He goes, "As you can see, I didn't go the college route." I was like, "Oh, that." But guys, if you're gonna, Kristen Wiig, I think would be a good one. Entertain them. Her or Maya Rudolph, either one of them, I think would be a good female comedian to go out there and entertain them. You couldn't go wrong with either one of them. I know I kind of cheated there and threw 2 of them out at you.
Yeah, that's all right.
But man, Bert Kreischer's who you got to go with, I think. The Van Wilder is based on his life.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got, and they're doing a movie based off the Machine story that, and he said, he goes, it wouldn't have blown up like it did, but the first time he told that story, one of the girls was like, yes, I was on that trip. All that happened.
Yeah.
He goes, it's all true. And so that's when it blew up. Now,
if you haven't, I know there's a lot of people that probably have no idea who Bert Kreischer is. But he is a comedian. You may have seen him. He's one of these guys you've probably seen him if you just don't know you've seen him. He takes his shirt off. He's like a big guy, but he takes his shirt off when he's performing. He's got a story about when he went to Russia one time.
Oh yeah, Google
and it's
that.
Called The Machine.
Google
now listen, I'll warn you, it's got language. Okay, it's got bad language. So if you don't like comedians with bad language, don't watch it. but if you can take some of the language, it is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Now,
It is. I can take. I don't like a lot of real vulgar comedy, and so I can only take bits and pieces of some of the people that are kind of vulgar, and it's more. It's not more about the words they use. It's more about things they talk about.
Right.
And so Bert, I can take. There's some of his stuff I can't take very well because the stuff he talks about, but most of the time though, everything he does is hilarious. He's a funny guy.
Speaking of filthy comedians, Bob Saget's one of the filthiest comedians alive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you remember my high school girlfriend, preacher's kid. I was hanging out over her house one day, and their entire family was like, "Ooh, a Bob Saget comedy special. Let's watch this." And I was like, "Oh, okay." We had no idea.
Full House Bob Saget.
He's not. Now, how do you think Stone Cold Steve Austin would do if he was the one that we had greet the aliens?
Oh yeah,
I just thought about that.
Or Mankind.
Yeah, because dude, if you haven't watched Straight Up Steve Austin, like that, because you talk about Bert Kreischer made me think about that. Because Stone Cold, he has a good way of relating to everybody too. Like Tiffany Haddish, she had her on there.
Yeah.
Joe McHale. I almost said Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
Joe McHale. Now, hey, let's say they're landing in Wooster, Arkansas.
Uh-oh.
They're coming down right at First Baptist Church. I mean, at Wooster Baptist Church. They're coming down where we once dominated the streets.
That's right.
We dominated the streets, both of them of Wooster.
Okay.
They wanted them to experience Arkansas. Who you got, Travis? Let them experience Arkansas.
All right. So my female, this one was a tough one. The female was, because, you mostly think of these TV reporters and people like that. Melinda Mayo was one of my top ones, and I'll probably actually. It was between her and Janelle Lilly. But I'm going to say Melinda Mayo because she's a Pine Bluff girl. She's from Arkansas. And so I just think she would do a good job. Plus she's a lot of fun. I'd like to hear her on the Buzz on, weekday mornings talking with Tommy and all the guys stuff. And all right, now my guy is one of my personal heroes. Like when I grow up, I want to be this guy. Okay. Is Rex Nelson.
Okay. That's a good one. You didn't go with the one I thought because I had two in my pocket in case you went with one. Well, I'm going to say both of them, but I'm going to tell you which one's top.
Here's why Rex Nelson. You can say any community. Like I'm not even going to say town. I'm going to say community. Like it doesn't even have to be an official town.
It'd be like Shady Grove.
If there's a place to eat in that community, Rex Nelson's eating there.
Right.
And he can tell you the best thing to get when you're there. He can tell you who the owner is and why they built the business. And I love that, man, because, I mean, I'd love to be like, I pride myself on being able to do that on quite a few communities in Arkansas, but not like him, because I love going to hole-in-wall places.
I do too.
If it's falling in, man, sign me up. I want to eat there. If there's some old grandma cooking or some old man in a pit, cooking, smoking up some meats or whatever, man, that's the place I want to go. I don't want to go to, if I don't want to go to some chain place. I want to go to whatever it is. And a lot of the places I've gone to are because I've heard Rex Nelson talk about it. Yeah. He knows more about this state and the history of this state. I mean, the guy worked for Clinton. He worked for Huckabee. He's so politically, he's well-rounded. He knows the history of the state. I think he's written for the paper. Rex Nelson. If you don't know who Rex Nelson is, get online. Look at he's got a webpage that he talks about like best places to eat and stuff like that, like a blog and stuff like that. So anyway, Rex Nelson representing Arkansas. Plus, he's an OBU alum, and he's the voice of OBU athletics, football.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go with Don Scott as my female.
Yeah.
I mean, she was around forever. I think she recently finally retired from doing the news. I mean, it was I mean, she done some incredible things, like the death row interview she did. I mean, she just did some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
She would be good, and probably no one knows more about telling the news in Arkansas than her. Now, this is the one I thought you were going to go with, and I remember Jesse Mallett in high school. His goal was to be this guy, and they kind of got Ashley King doing that now. But you know who I'm going with now, don't you?
Not yet.
Chuck Dovish.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Traveling Arkansas.
No, he's still on PBS.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
He's still on PBS.
Chuck Dovish. I mean,
yeah.
Because you think about Chuck Dovish would show them every nook, corner, cranny.
That's right.
And I thought about like Craig O'Neill. Is there a person that represents Arkansas right now better than Sam Pittman?
Oh yeah. Well, if it was a negotiation, of some sort, then I would send Pittman or Van Horn. Easily, probably Van Horn, just because he's been here longer.
Yeah, I mean, either one of them.
But or if I even thought about Musselman.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, he was, this weekend he was, hanging out with all those New Jersey Institute of Technology baseball players.
So
yeah.
It sounded like they had a good. They sound like them kids had a good time, and you know what? Them kids weren't just happy to be there. They showed up ready to play against Arkansas. Arkansas had to wake up.
Yeah,
so,
they played their hearts out. Yeah, so Chuck Dovish is a wonderful one, man. He's been to every tourist thing, every backwater place to put a kayak in or whatever. I still watch the show on PBS if it's on.
I will.
If it's on, my guide, I see Traveling Arkansas. He's got a little 30-minute show on PBS still. He still does.
Yeah, you remember Jesse had that show like we first got all the TVs where we could loop them through. Yeah. And so Jesse was doing Traveling Greenbrier.
I don't remember that.
He had.
I don't doubt it.
I had my own show, me and this other guy, called Homo Sapiens on Books. And I don't read a lot of books, but I know a lot of useless. I'm a cesspool of useless information, so I know a lot of. I can fake my way through a lot of stuff.
I started that. Me and Sean Medina started that news show our senior year.
Yeah,
we it was so funny because Mr. Gibson, he had I was in photography class. He was trying to think of projects for us to do in photography class. So we just bought video editing equipment, like with VCRs, like the old school stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, and I was one of the first ones to learn how to use that because I was videoing all the Mr. Stevenson stuff we were doing. And so I said, we could do a news show like every Friday. And Mr. Gibson knew that I would just goof off on it. And so he's like, no, we're not going to do that. Well, then right after that, Mr. Floyd came in and who was our principal our senior year. And Mr. Floyd really liked me. And so he came in and he said, and I told him, I said, wouldn't it be great if we had a news show? We could get announcements out through that. We could interview you sometimes. We could, all this stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, man, that's great. Mr. Gibson, y'all should do this. And so Mr. Gibson had to do it because his boss was all excited about it. That's and man, all we did half the time was me and Sean would we would act out Saturday Night Live skits and old Cheech and Chong skits. And then we would go show them to Miss Young and Miss Meeks, and they'd laugh at them. And then we'd finally do it by the end of the week. Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. So we got, our serious one is both of us went with Oprah. You went with Joe Rogan as your serious guy.
Right.
I went with Elon Musk as my serious guy to meet with aliens. Okay. For funny, you went with Bert Chrysler, so he's going to show up shirtless up there. That'll
Right.
be fun. I went with Kanye. You went with Kristen Wiig, and
Right.
who was your other one? You said
Maya
someone else.
Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph. Okay, so both hilarious ladies that would be funny. And then I went with Fat Avey from the Pitch Perfect series of movies, and then for Arkansas, if it was in Arkansas, I went with Melinda Mayo and Rex Nelson, and you went with Chuck Dovis and Don Scott.
Yeah.
I think
You know-
if we put those together as one big committee, man, we can get a lot of things done with those people.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good group of folks.
Good group.
Right there.
Hey, and where can they find us at now, Big T?
Man, they can find us. First of all, you could always find us on the YouTube.
The YouTube.
We've always been there. We've always been camping out there.
We're still there. But
In
we want
fact-
to find more ways to give all this love to you.
But we thought, you know what? They don't need to just see our pretty faces all the time.
They don't. Sometimes you just want to listen.
Sometimes you want to listen, and sometimes when you're doing video, when you're driving, cops may stop you. Right, Bobby B.
Bobby B.
Anyway, so we decided, well, let's get it out there in other places. So now we're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, both of which are very free. Just get out there and you just download them, and you can listen to us each week. You can listen to Sean Michelle's music leading us in, rocking in for us and leading us out, and just have a great time. So, but here's the deal, folks. We need you. We need you to like and share on Apple Podcasts. We need you to give us 5-star reviews and tell people why you like us. We want 5-star. If you come in with the 2-star, then we say, get out. We don't need you.
Yeah.
Hey, keep your opinion to yourself, folks. Give us them 5-star reviews. I don't know how Spotify does it. I don't use Spotify quite as much as I do Apple, but whatever it takes.
But Spotify's where you want to listen to us. Go ahead. We're
No,
there.
Spotify's great. A lot of people listen. A lot of people do swear by Spotify. I just, I've always just done the Apple thing. So, and I just happen to, I pay for Apple Music or whatever. So I stick with Apple on everything. But Spotify is a wonderful place for music and podcasts and everything else too. I've started going over there since Joe Rogan moved over there. I'll listen to stuff there more, but anyway, we need you. We need you. We need you, folks. We need you to like and share and let us know. Comment.
Help us.
Okay. Help us out here. Help us out. We want to see more and more people listening to us and telling us how dumb we are. Look, and if you want to tell us how dumb we are, that's okay.
That's fine. We're big
Look,
boys.
We get conversations with people all the time. I mean, in your real life, you get in conversations with people and you're like, that's a dumb conversation. We just talked about aliens. It's okay. It's okay. And but here's the deal. It could be real life.
I mean, we talked about the possibility of having Pauly Shore be the first one to greet them aliens.
That's right.
I mean,
So-
we did.
That's right. We did. We
crossed
did.
our mind.
That's right. We've officially lost it. We're who knows what we'll do next. No, and there's lots of good things going on in Razorback sports. Recruiting's really big now. There was a lot of recruits up there this weekend. Good weekend for them to be there. A couple of them took it on their own and went to the regional, which is a good thing because the school can't give them tickets. So some basketball recruits, Darian Ford, the big kid, the big point guard, not big. He's a big time recruit from Magnolia, point guard, and then the 6'11" kid from Little Rock. They were up there. If you want to find out more about that, I would suggest you follow Hog Sports on YouTube, Trey Biddy. He does a great job of covering that. Him and his guys, Danny West and Curtis, I forget his last name, new guy, but they do a wonderful job talking about basketball, football recruiting.
Trey Biddy's awesome.
Yeah, and that's free. That's free stuff. You don't have to go. I mean, you can go to the Hog Sports, and pay for more in-depth stuff, but just the stuff they give you free is wonderful. Okay, so I mean, just the stuff I told you was all free stuff on this. Yeah, he does like a weekly deal. So check that out if you want to find out more about that kind of stuff. We're going to give you some of those news and things like that at times, but there's also times that hey, people like that cover it very well. And so we want to stay in our niche. And for what we want to do here, Clint, we're two longtime best friends that love to just talk about random stuff. Sometimes that random stuff is sports. Sometimes it's movies. Sometimes it's what ifs. Sometimes it's aliens. Sometimes it's your facial hair.
And I haven't worn sleeves all week, buddy.
That's right. He's gone straight. What are those things called?
Tank top.
Tank topping. That's right.
Yeah, I did wear a long sleeve fishing shirt when I was fishing today. But other than that, it's been great.
You didn't want to get sunburned.
No, you didn't.
Have to whine to your wife all week about your sunburn on your shoulder.
Try to get her. Apparently, aloe's a hot ticket item around here, so you can't.
Yeah, probably so. That's right. All right,
man. Man, thank you so much. Time's up. Love you to death, buddy.
It's been fun. Enjoy the rest of your vacation with your family. Quality time with the kiddos and in-laws. I guess they're there with you too, right?
Yep. They're down the campground down the street. Yep.
And enjoy Galveston and bring me back something pretty. And I always say that to people. I don't know. I said that to a lady at church one time. She was going to Walmart. I said, bring me back something pretty. And she brought me back a pink fly swatter, pink camo fly swatter. So I said, well, I asked for something pretty, and it's useful.
Pretty.
So, all right, Clint, have a good week. For all you out there going Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify, download us, share, subscribe, share. Peace.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.